Ah! Did I scare you? Oh my god. What happened to my webcam? How could this happen? I fixed it. Oh, it's still cropped from our collab stream. That's what I had wrong. There we are. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Which is easier to learn, Japanese or Chinese? Sorry, let me pop out YouTube chat so I don't have to crane my neck all the way over there. Where are you guys? I'm putting you guys right here. Shadow was asking in YouTube chat whether it's easier to learn Japanese or Chinese, and honestly, I think they're both hard in really different ways. And I think the learning curves look kind of different. Like, I think early learning curve is probably easier for Japanese because they have an actual alphabet. And Chinese just has, hieroglyphs. Hola, Bruna. Hello. I see Mr. Chan spamming the feet emoji. Ying's feet stream, truly a recession indicator. There was someone who came into my Uma Musume chat and said something like, I thought it was so funny. They were like, ah, shit, even you're streaming this game? Damn. Like, what was it? Oh, the bills must be really bad. I was like, I paid probably $2 off that stream. I don't think I'm desperate enough to stream Uma Musume for $2. $2 in ad revenue if I'm lucky. Maybe more like 50 cents. Chinese is more straightforward when it comes to grammar and structure. Japanese has more nuances. Yeah, I guess I've never thought about Chinese grammar because I've never had to. Cause I guess when you grow up speaking a language, you don't think as much about sentence structure. So Chinese sentence structure has always felt really direct to me, and then I just like never really thought beyond that. Horse feet stream when? Yeah, so this really explains the phenomenon of like those hoof trimming videos where they get horses fit for horseshoes. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's like a micro genre. I got really into it for like a hot minute last year, I think. And then the algorithm was like only showing me hoof trimming and horseshoe fitting videos for like a month. Yes, okay. Yeah, you watch those too. Okay, great. They're just so like satisfying because it's always featuring a horse that like hasn't had their hoof trimmed or a new shoe fitted for like years, and so their hooves are like super overgrown and you feel really bad for the horse. They can't even like, they're like hobbling around because they can't even walk properly. You're like, oh my god, that poor horse. And then they're like dung, 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 duh, 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 and then it's over and the horse is like yippee and you're like yay, and it's just like, it's such a perfect signed, sealed, delivered wrapped up package. Okay, I think my white balance is fluctuating for some reason, so let me see if I can fix that at all. I think that's a little better. All right. Someone using his audio to like scoop ice cream. What? Okay, I don't know about this one, Allison. You love today's shirt? Thank you, Bruna. It's actually, so I'm actually wearing a dress today, which is odd for me. But I bought this dress. It's like a little wrap dress. I bought this dress like ages ago because I thought this like sage green matches so much stuff in my wardrobe, which it does, obviously. But I was like, can I put this shirt has kind of like a slightly more masculine silhouette to it. I was like, can I put a more masculine thing over like a more feminine shape? And then it kind of worked. Kind of? I don't know. This skirt, I think it works better on the top half than the bottom half, because the bottom half is like, you see how it's a wrap skirt? So there's like a split situation here where you're like, your legs show through. And so the overall look of it is just like so much more feminine than I'm used to, which is why I don't wear it basically, but I thought it was great. Yeah, it's like, I like that sage green to gray range. I like gray blue, gray green. I'm a grayish millennial, I'm sorry. So gender right now, you gotta go out for cocktails. I don't know if this dress is cocktail appropriate. I guess I live in California, so everything's cocktail appropriate, to be fair. A wrap skirt? Wrap. W-R-A-P. Mr. Chen. Jalen said, Chinese is easier to speak, Japanese is easier to read. Really? You think Chinese is easier to speak for a new Chinese learner? You would say that? Because people always tell me Chinese is like really hard to learn to speak because the tonal system is like so tricky. But then again, I guess Japanese also has a tonal system, except they're like even less transparent about it. At least in Chinese, the tones are labeled. So you like, even if you're doing it wrong, you know what you're supposed to be saying. So I don't know if I agree with that just from the consonant clusters though. I guess it depends on what your first language is also. Like try teaching an English speaker to say ch ch sh. They don't got it. But if you go to a Polish speaker and you go, hey, say, they basically got it. Like they have a slightly different version of it, but it's very close in Polish. There's that one really cursed, I think it was a Reddit post that 3 sent me, of someone using the Polish alphabet to phonetically transliterate Chinese words. And it was like frighteningly accurate. Versus Chinese is harder. Yeah, I guess you're qualified to make that statement as an East Asian language and culture studies person. As an English speaker, absolutely. I found Japanese easier since I speak Spanish. Chinese scares me. Moshi, welcome to chat also. I think Japanese is probably especially, well, I was told that after I started learning Spanish before I started learning Japanese. And then when I went back and I tried to like practice my Spanish again, people were like, why does your Spanish have a Japanese accent? And I was like, I learned Spanish first. What do you mean? Very offended, but also I think they're right. There's just something about the way, I don't know any of the linguistics terminology, but the like consonant vowel alterations, I guess, or like the way they switch off in each syllable is like, I wish I knew the linguistic terms for it. Yeah, I don't know. There's like an atomic unit of a syllable that feels more consistent across Spanish and Japanese. Yeah. And then additionally, I'm kind of a Shanghainese speaker, and the phonetics are like nearly identical in a lot of ways between those two languages. So phonemes, maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. Yeah, the sh sounds that's what fucks everyone up. Even Chinese speakers cannot say sh properly. Like my family's Shanghainese, right? And so most of my family, like for example, for the longest time, I was raised on Mandarin that was not precise because people, like my mom would be like, hey, do you want 粽子 for breakfast? And I'd be like, yes, mother, I would love a 粽子 for breakfast. And then it's not until I was actually probably 2 years ago when I found out it wasn't 粽子, it's 粽子. I was like, oh, you motherfuckers. Like, I didn't fucking know. So anyway, that's a common Chinese experience to still, you're literally Chinese and you still can't do the situation. Like, you know how to say it, but you don't know which words are which. Sucks. The northern-southern divide is real. Yeah, the 翘舌音 in Shanghainese does not exist. 翘舌音, 后鼻音都没有. 都没有. 怎么 I should say. 都没有 would be 怎么 in Shanghainese. This is wildly different language. Like I was talking to my friends recently. We started studying the 道德经 of all things, which I think I briefly mentioned to you guys. But I have like a little study group now for Taoism. And I don't know how we got on this topic, but we were talking about, what thread was I on just now? We were talking about 翘舌音, 后鼻音. Like how different the dialects are and how many of them, even though they're all technically Chinese dialects, they originate from different language families. And so the fact that they share a writing system is like kind of true, but also kind of not, because most of the dialects cannot be written in written Chinese. Like it doesn't work. It doesn't translate. Because my roommate's Cantonese. And she told me that there are like characters they say in Cantonese that for the most part you can like mostly express Canto in Chinese writing, but you cannot in Shanghainese. Like it's kind of a meme. You can find Shanghainese people on the internet because they're like writing gibberish Chinese and you're like, what the hell is that? Until you read it and you think about it as Shanghainese and you're like, ah, 쉬었더라. Hardcore Smurf Daddy, what a username, welcome. We call them dialects, Western linguists call them different languages. Yeah, well, even Western linguists are a little torn up on whether the dialects are dialects or languages, right? Because well, this is a whole course I was supposed to take in college and then I dropped out because I wanted to. This is the crowning shame of my college career, is that I dropped my Chinese dialects class that I was really excited to take. I dropped it because I took like 2 classes and then I dropped it because it conflicted with the machine learning class. I was a computer science major. The machine learning class, not for me to take, because I was like, I'm not going to take machine learning. But I was invited to tutor it. And then I was like, ah, shit. I don't want to take machine learning, but I do kind of want to tutor it. And then fucking AI went the way it did. And I'm like, shit. If I had had the foresight back then. Japanese for chads and Chinese for sissy boys. What is that even supposed to mean? Watch yourself. I learned recently that it's called dialects only because of socio-political reasons, and it's thanks to Probe that I looked this up. Well, It's complicated though, because I think it is debatable whether they are dialects or languages depending on how you demarcate the differences, right? So, for example, mutually intelligible is like a thing that people would consider a requirement for dialects, which is a requirement that is not fulfilled by the Chinese language dialects. But then other people will consider the writing system a qualifying feature, and that is technically fulfilled, that most Chinese dialects, even if they're mutually unintelligible, can be mostly written in the Chinese written language. So it's just not, it's different. Yeah. Oh well. I like that it's complicated. I like that I like anything that makes us question categorization buckets. Like the boundaries between categorizations. I like anything that makes us pause and go like, huh, yeah, this doesn't really fit in either. Which of course is rich coming from someone who's literally non-binary, asexual. I'm like, I defy your attempts to categorize me. And that's just how I like to live my life, and therefore also how I like to see other things out in the world, I guess. Geezer, we gotta talk about this stuff. Sometime I ate it up in uni. Yeah, we should. I'm so curious about your studies and like what your focus was on, because East Asian languages and cultures is like such a broad category. I'm really curious what brought you to it. My roommate in college and my best friend in college was she studied Korean, but it was under the East Asian languages and cultures department, and she was also a linguist. So it was like, we always had very interesting conversations in our dorm room. Coffee Ron, what's up? Good to see you. Reading Japanese is contextual. Their kanji can change reading depending on the sentence. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what makes it exceptionally confusing for Chinese readers also, because a lot of kanji can now be read not only in the multitude of ways it can be read in Japanese, but also in the multitude of ways it can be read in Chinese in your head. Like, I think any Chinese learner learning Japanese has to first learn to turn off the part of their brain that like instinctively reads the kanji as Chinese. Every time I look at tegami and it's like 手指. Like my brain says that before it has a chance to say tegami. We did a few Japanese learning streams, so I guess you guys have already witnessed me kind of going through that. Sammyus, what's up? Hello. Regal says on YouTube chat that Chinese people are very nice and will tell you your Chinese is good. Well, don't Japanese people do that too? Isn't the whole like Nihongo jozu like a whole meme? Okay, did the ML course help with all the LLM stuff that's been coming out? Oh yeah, I mean, I learned most of my ML stuff through, the reason I was invited to tutor machine learning, it was our first time offering the machine learning class, so like nobody was qualified to tutor it, but I was invited to tutor it because I had, in the previous semester, I had been studying natural language processing, which is very related to the LLM situation, but it's why I have such strong opinions about Gen AI and LLMs. It really pisses me off that, I don't know, first of all, that it's like the main piss off point is the fact that it's taken off the way that it has in applications where I feel like it's very wasteful, and just like unthoughtful. Like people are not engaging with anything critically, but especially not with LLMs. It's okay. That's a whole, if you let me on that soapbox, I will not get off for an hour. So we're gonna avoid that topic for now. I just get so annoyed. I get so annoyed at people mouthing off about stuff they don't know about, like at all. And then I think their hearts are in the right place, but it just does more harm than it does good. And then on both sides. There was a stand-up comedy short about a comedian's husband mispronouncing strawberries and insult about sisters. Oh, like 草莓, but instead of 草莓, it's like 草莓. Oh, that's horrible, actually. So everybody, yeah. I mean, because nobody's going to hear 草莓 and think like, fuck your sister. Like that's not the assumption I think any Chinese listener would have made. I did 2 capstone courses, Women in Contemporary Chinese Culture. That was a course that we had a course by a very similar title that I was gonna take, that I also had to drop, also for a CS class. My CS major did so much sabotage to me. Japanese culture focusing on tea ceremony. Oh my god, I have no specific knowledge, just an amalgamation. I feel like amalgamation is exactly what East Asian studies is like, though. That's just how it is. I'm so curious about tea culture. Do you still remember stuff? I want to talk tea culture so bad. I will still give you the strawberries. None of us have sisters. What's the punchline? 我要草莓。请问草莓多少？ I can see that punchline working well. That's good. I think we can't even compare Japanese and Chinese difficulty. Just look at the pronunciation of measure and count words. The Japanese number changes pronunciation with every other word. I really think it depends on what your starting point is, like what language you're coming in from, how much you, like in terms of difficulty level, how much you're considering phonetics versus sentence structure versus, stuff like that. Like if you don't really care about accurate pronunciation, for example, and you're more worried about like grammatical structure and like the way, like, I guess the nebulous or ambiguous ways that like Japanese words can or can't be pronounced, I can see that feeling like a more complicated learning process versus Chinese, which is a lot more determinate. But I think so many people struggle with basic Chinese pronunciation versus Japanese that there's a general presumption that Chinese is hard just because it's hard to pronounce. So it really depends on how you define difficulty. Yeah. Do I remember? My old man professor would kill me if I forgot. Okay. I will be in your DMs for your syllabus. Hands up, give me your syllabus. I should be saying that to more of my professors, to be honest. Like the class that I dropped, I should just go back to that professor's emails and be like, so you know how I dropped your class? Like, will you give me your syllabus, pretty please? Although I've done that to a few professors and then proceeded to not look at the fucking syllabus, so I'm a fraud. Anyway, we've been yapping a while. I'm very, very frenetic in energy today. I have had 3 bad nights of sleep in a row. So if you notice me a little bit whacked out, that's what it is. I'm not even that caffeinated. I just get really strange when I haven't had enough sleep. I think I get really pissy when I haven't had enough sleep. But my mood is actually okay today. Not too pissy, just kind of frantic. Let me get the hand cam going. Wakey, wakey. Oh, here we are. We did it. Okay, so I did start sleeping without you guys today. I'm sorry. I was a thirsty little boy this morning. But it's my usual go-to favorite tea. So I was just really in the mood for it today. Where usually I have you guys choose. Instead, I just went for it this morning. So I'm gonna do a quick second steep on it. Yapping is your main draw. You're so right. It's so funny to me because it's like the moment I stop yapping and go to the main content, like sometimes, not always, but sometimes the viewership drops precipitously, and I'm like, I see what y'all were here for. When's the podcast dropping? For real, I never want to do that. Well, never say never. I've actually always wanted to do a reading podcast. I started one a few years ago, and then I was like, got distracted by some VTuber shenanigans, and then the rest is history. Imagine getting sleep in this weather. It's not been too bad where I am in NorCal. It's like actually pretty tolerable, but I think I overpoured it. 1 second. This is only my second steep of the day, so you guys didn't really miss that much. Perfect. Also on equivalent irregular sleep franticness. It's actually reassuring to hear that I'm not the only one that gets kind of frantic. Oh shit. Look how full that is. My bad. Okay, I gotta do the... Ready? I don't know if you can see it on camera. Hold on. I'm so excited to review the clip after see what this looks like. Oh, I can see my nose. Okay. How is the camera angle? Bruna's like, I'm here for the tea. Mostly the tea. Sometimes the plants. That's the correct answer, Bruna. That's how you curry favor with me, is to compliment my plants. Look at this beautiful mother pothos I have behind me. I call it the mother pothos because it is the mother pothos to all of the other pothos in this house. Tea reveal stream, Pog. Have you considered giving up the need for sleep? I wish. Don't we all wish? We would all be superhuman. For a second, I thought you like snorted the tea. The meme angle. Oh, man, that's not how humans drink water. Oh, it's a gossip stream? Well, I mean, I think we have some hot goss here. Do we? What do we gossip about? I don't... Actually, now that I think about it, I'm like, I don't think we've actually gossiped about anything, guys. Snort tea! New method. I feel like if you say snort tea, people are going to assume it's like powdered tea leaves or something. Like a powder. Right? I don't know. I guess I've never snorted a recreational drug, so I don't get to speak on this. Okay. So I promised you guys no clickbait, feet content. Here's the Chinese character for feet. Requirement fulfilled. This is no longer a clickbait stream. Not enough tea in the tea stream. You know what? I cannot dispute that allegation. And gossip about you not reading the syllabus you got from your previous teachers. Listen, I was but a youngster in my mid-20s, not knowing any better. They said, ask and you shall receive. And I sure did ask and I sure did receive. And then what did I do with what I received? Maybe that's for current 30-year-old me to figure out. And that's okay. Maybe that's okay. Maybe we should all be a lot more forgiving with ourselves. I think that's been the primary learning of my past year, is that there's no point in berating yourself and making yourself feel bad. You know, what's the point? The other people are going to do that. Let them do it. You don't have to do it to yourself either. You don't have to like super talk up yourself either. Just let yourself be. Just be. It's okay. Everything's going to be, well, everything's going to be okay is kind of an irresponsible statement, but it's okay. It is okay. Snort Lipton tea? You know, I wonder if that's actually bad for you. Yeah, like if you snorted matcha, would anything bad happen? Just asking for science. Like, I bet someone's tried it. I bet someone's tried to snort matcha. Hold on. In this content-driven era, where everyone is like crit fishing for the next viral hit, surely somebody has snorted matcha. So if okay, snort matcha. Surely, damn it. I went on YouTube and I searched snort matcha and all I got was like actual matcha videos. You turn green. It's like that thing people say, if you eat too many carrots, you turn orange. What if I Google, can you snort matcha? I bet I'm gonna get some like ridiculous AI response. Yeah, the AI overview is like, you cannot and should not snort matcha or any powdered substance anyway. I make it a point to scroll past the AI result. What happens if you snort a line of matcha? See, these are the people asking the questions. Did someone on Amazon ask? Oh, I gotta see this. I gotta see this. Oh my God. Here, look. Jade leaf matcha ceremonial green tea. And then one of the questions is, can I snort it? You go first. Not recommended from Jade leaf matcha, like the official sellers, or like, please don't. Oh, that's so funny. We need this for science. Yeah, maybe not me. I know, I wish I could disable the AI answers too. They're so fucking annoying. I recently finally I'm a Google Photos user, and like the Gemini search was just pissing me off too much. So I went into my preferences and I disabled Gemini search. And then I went back to my normal search and I was like, I swear to God, these bitches at Google, I swear to God, they intentionally made the normal search worse. Like they intentionally inshitified it to encourage us to go back to Gemini search. Cause I went on there and I was just like, just search some random shit. And I searched like black cat, which like previously I've searched before and gotten a bunch of results on. And there were no results. I've taken plenty of photos of black cats. And they were just like, oh, sorry, you don't have any photos of black cats. I'm like, bullshit. I know I have plenty of photos of black cats. So anyway, yep, it's inshitified. Maybe you can create a custom filter to hide it in uBlock. It wouldn't work on your phone though, right? Maybe you could do it on like Brave browser. I don't know if Brave Mobile has an ability to do custom filtering. I've been trying to turn off the Google Echo and Assistant on my phone. Yeah, I feel you. Similarly, I've been trying to turn off, what's the Microsoft one? Not Cortana. The other one that they made. There's like a Microsoft Assistant or something. I don't even know what it's called, but it keeps showing up on my PC, on my Windows install. And I'm like, this fucking sucks for real. Copilot! Fuck Copilot! Oh, bitch, it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. And like, I like to hang out at cafes and like read books and do journaling and stuff. And recently, okay, I will fully admit to sitting in cafes and just like eavesdropping on people. It's like, it's like so low stakes. Like, I don't know them. They don't know me. Like, it doesn't matter if I know their business. And I'm just like, I don't want to be a messy bitch, except in this case, I can be a messy bitch without actually being a messy bitch. So I'm an eavesdropper, especially when it's like first dates. Holy fuck, I love eavesdropping on first dates. Love. But a lot of the conversations nowadays that I overhear in cafes, it's just people going like, yeah, so I asked Chat GPT to write this thank you note for me for my aunt. And I'm just like, what the fuck, huh? And then they're just like trading notes on like what they use Chat GPT for. And I'm like, I don't want to be mean, but I think some people don't have an inner life. I'm not convinced that they have one when I hear some of these conversations. I don't know. Like, I'm not like a fucking purist, right? That's my whole point of like what I was saying earlier. Okay, I said don't let me on the soapbox. Don't let me do it. I'm not getting on the soapbox. But anyway, these people are fucking annoying. They're fucking annoying. But I refuse to lose faith in humanity, so I close my ears. I close my eyes. I do not see, I do not hear. Okay. I used ChatGPT to write this comment. Yeah, sure. There's one of the I listen to a lot of podcasts. One of the ads that's been coming up a lot recently that was like, it's advertising an AI tool used in the workplace, and it's saying something like, here at insert company name here, I forget what they're called. Clearly not a very effective ad. Insert company here, we believe in people spending their time working on the things that excite them, which is why like a human wrote this script and read it for this ad, and not an AI. Like, use our tool to automate the boring stuff away so that you can focus on the work that matters, like writing ad copy and reading it. And I was just like, I see where you're going with this. I don't think you're quite hitting the mark. I appreciate the attempt, but this is like not quite it. This ain't it. Sounds like a new Bad Dragon competitor, the insert company. You're so right. Oh, my last date was created by ChatGPT. Oh my god, it's like the what was the subreddit of people who were like dating their AI assistants? Who was the person who like posted her engagement ring and then they all fucking gave her shit for it? It was it's such a subreddit. It's like my other favorite thing is Flat Earth Dating, which my friend added me to, and I thought it was a meme group on Facebook. I thought it was a joke. I thought Flat Earth Dating was a joke. Flat Earth Dating is not a joke. It's real. It's a bunch of flat earthers trying to find a partner who is also a flat earther. They're 100% serious. Heard it here first, folks. I love it. Very fun Facebook group to be part of. Anyways, we're very off topic. I'm sorry. We did say yapping was the fun part, but now we're half an hour in, and for me, that's the break point. So we're going to be studious professionals. I don't know about professionals. Studious students. Is that redundant? We're going to be studious. We're just going to be studious. I was like, does it need to modify something in this sentence? Hold on, my camera's like a little wobbly. Let me stabilize it a bit. Okay. Flat earthers need love too. Rue's like, I just got back from ads. What the fuck is happening? Wait, let me buy Rue a fucking here you go. Can't have one of my editors getting ad blocked. That's horrible. Okay. Great. I resolved it. Liz, I will ban myself. All right. Shall we? Everybody knows Earth is a Taurus. You know what, Samuus? Everything's a Taurus. Humans are Tauruses, if you think about it, topographically. Just think about it. We're all donuts. We're all donuts. One cafe eavesdropping story. They are not just floating into my recollection. If I think of one, I'll bring it up. Yeah. We're just donuts, eating donuts. It's true. It's true. How would you say studious students in Mandarin? Oh my god, it would be 三好学生. Which is not, it's more of a title. Do they still do that? Do they still do the 三好 thing? Sorry. I don't think I have to explain that. It's just like a reward, an award thing they used to do. Okay, today's first tale of Chinese idioms is the one that you guys selected from the end of last stream, which is 裹足不前. And if you've noticed from my stream thumbnails on YouTube, I've been enjoying this like emojiification of the idioms because there's like exactly 4 characters and usually each of them is like pretty literally what the character is. So this one, unfortunately, the 裹 was a little difficult in emoji format because it means like to bind or wrap or package. But so I use the like package emoji, like a box, but it's not quite right. Think of it more as like a like tied or wrapped, restricted, something like that. Okay. Let's look up what the 阐述 is here. Oh my god, I unlocked my phone and it was still on the "Can I snort matcha?" question. Okay, I wanted to look up 阐述. 阐述. 咦？为什么？为什么没有？我手写。这样。Okay, I've never written this word before. What is this? This one? Oh my god, my fucking face expression takes me out every time. And then the other one is like 结束的束. Search. Oh, to bind and to restrain, to wind and tangle. So, where's my pencil? Here, come admire my Sam Trans pencil case again. I love it. I think it should be in here somewhere. No? Oh, it's here. It's here. Slightly related. When browsing in a Chinese bookstore, the books in the learning section had those bookmark-like things you could put on the page to hide the pinyin. Hide the pinyin? So that you're like testing yourself, basically. Like the whole book is your flashcard. That's cool. I like that. How does that work? Bookmark-like things, like you would hold like the whole... Oh my, I have a better... This is like my plant Velcro thing. You would like hold it like this and then try to read the characters without the pinyin. That's cool. I wonder how that works. Okay. What's this app called, Shadow? This is Pleco. Let me show you this app. It has like the fish character on it. Okay. So 阐述, let's annotate this. 阐 is to twine or wind. I'm just gonna say twine, and 述 is to bind. So it looks like the dictionary isn't registering it as like an actual 词语, but each of the words individually means to like wrap or bind. So it's the same thing as the 裹 that I was trying to explain earlier. I didn't know that though. I didn't know that 述 could mean that like on its own even. I mean, it means a lot of things clearly. It can mean to bind and tie or control and restrain. It can mean a beam. It can mean a bundle or a sheaf. It's a type of fish. You put the holes on the characters and the pinyin would be hidden. Oh, so the page is like multi-layered and then it's got like, you just like move pieces of paper around on the page. Like it's not like a separate object apart from the book. Probably easy to do with some thicker type of paper. Yeah, I think so. Okay, 裹 means to 包 or to 阐述. Sorry, my amalgamation of English and Chinese is horrific. Okay, 好像把脚包起来似的，不再往前走. So, like, as if wrapping your feet and not moving forward, not walking forward. 形容停止前进, so it just means to stop advancing. And then there's a story attached, which we will read. Maybe it's... No, we are still in ancient Chinese history. I don't think we're getting away from it. Okay, 李斯是楚国人，他很有学问，到秦国后成为秦始皇的智囊。秦王任命他为长史，后来又拜他为客卿。Oh my god, so many antiquated titles I don't know about here. So, 李斯 is the guy's name. 楚国 is the nation he hails from. He has a lot of, how would you translate 学问? Knowledge. A lot of knowledge. And then he went to Qingguo, which is a different nation here, which I believe becomes the founding nation for one of the Chinese dynasties. Qing, the Qing dynasty. I'm dumb. It's literally the same name. 后成为秦始皇的智囊. Okay, what do you think 智囊 means? I would guess like the brains of his operation, like his strategist or something like that. His brains guy, you know? Let me type 智囊. Yeah, think tank. Think tank or brain trust. That's a cool word. Think tank. 智囊 sack of brain cell. That's a very funny way to translate it, Moldy. Is that the literal translation of like each of the words? Is 智 as in like intelligence and is nang like a sack? I feel like think tank might be a very close translation then, actually. Oh, is it Pico? What? I've always said Pleco. Oh, good night, Shadow. Thanks for hanging out. Pico. What? I thought it was Pleco this whole time. When I searched on the App Store, I searched Pleco. Why would they do that? Okay, let me try. Pleco. I put an L in for that one and it seemed to work. I don't know, all of these are sans serif font, so it's not really helping. And no one's like capitalizing it ever, so. The app's icon is fish in traditional. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. 秦王任命他为长史 what is that? Chief strategist, I would guess. Let's see. 长史诶怎么没有啊哎呀 my keyboard 哎呀不要这样好吗怎么那么麻烦呢听话一点 OK 长史I just feel like that should have a translation. Hold up. I'm sure. Hold on. What am I fucking Chinese keyboard? 长史找到了，有了。是什么官职？长史，中国历史上职官名，其执掌事务下一。What does that mean? Oh. Bat at video games. Hello, welcome. That's a big raid. Welcome, everyone. It's good to have y'all. What were you up to? Day 3.5 of what? Are you doing a subathon? Is that what's happening? Hold on, let me do a shout out. I know I have Chinese keyboard on. I can't do a shout out. Here, this should work. Bat at video games is a very cute username. Special events. Oh, I'm gonna assume it is some kind of a subathon then. Let me check out your channel real quick. Oh, what a cute, are you a VTuber? What a cute, like, brand approach. The bat is adorable. All right, not quite a subathon, more of a PSP Games marathon. Ah, how's the studies? Chinese is godlike. The Chinese is going rough. I had to look up every other phrase is what it feels like, but anyways, thank you very much for rating it. I appreciate it. I hope your PSP Games Marathon has been going great. It must be kind of jarring to go from a Games Marathon into a Chinese study session, but thank you for growing your brain cells with me over here. It's good to have y'all. Welcome. Nice to meet you all. My name is Ying. I'm a once in a while VTuber as well. I'm actually working on a 2.0 model, and you'll probably see me using my VTuber a lot more often after I debut that. Hopefully around spring next year, but we'll see. Until then, I am here for you in the flesh. It's good to meet you all. If you need to go rest, Bat, please do. Is it okay to just call you Bat? Is that what you go by? You're Moriko Kyoho. Moriko. Thank you. It's nice to meet you. I hope you had a wonderful 3.5. 3.5? Is it 3.5 or 3.5? I hope you had a great 3.5 marathon stream. Yes, the goal was to be menacing, Allison. Exactly. Sammy is in YouTube chat like, PSP has games? That or that's fine. I'll be lurking. Of course. Thank you again for the raid. Hope you rest up well. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep molding over Chinese characters. Morty Mate, Dr. Mustache, Aranaran, Ego Heels, and Ruined Web. Thank you all for the follow. You guys all have such clean Twitch usernames. They were like readable. I'm not used to that anymore. All right. We're literally in the first sentence of the first story, so you guys are right on time. The phrase we're reading right now is 国足不前. Which literally means to like bind your feet and not advance. And chat chose this from the end of our last Chinese learning stream because they were like, haha, feet. Or more accurately, I should tell the truth. I said, haha, feet. And then chat was like, yes, you should choose the feet one. And I was like, good. And then now we're here. So it literally just means to stop in your tracks. Is how I would translate it probably, but it has, like many Chinese idioms, is associated with some like antiquated Chinese history story, and it makes them a little easier to remember, especially the like vibes component, because I think an idiom's vibes can be the hardest part of it to translate. And so if you read an entire fucking fable behind an idiom, I guess you won't forget what its vibes are. So Sammy is haha feed. Curse chat, is it? I feel like we're all in this together, you know? Okay. 秦王任命他为长史. Oh, 长史, I was looking up. That's what I was doing. I was looking up 长史. 但多为幕僚性质的官员. 幕僚 means like an aider and advisor of top officials. Okay. 执掌. 长史最早设于秦代，当时丞相和将军幕府 ，Oh my god, so many words， 皆设有长史官，相当于秘书长，或幕僚长。将军下的长史亦可领军作战。Okay, so, they're like, it's kind of similar to like a secretary general type role, but anyone with this title under like a general would actually be qualified to lead forces into battle. Chief of staff. Really? Okay, cool. I will write chief of staff for now. That makes more sense to me than secretary general. Okay, 后来又拜他为客卿. Shit, another one to look up. 客卿. So this is kind of like an ambassador almost, because it says person from one feudal state serving in the court of another. I'm just gonna go with ambassador, even if that's not quite right. Ambassador-ish. Okay, so basically, bro was really brainy, so he became like a think tank for the emperor, and then the emperor, the Qin emperor, gave him the title of chief of staff. And then also made him like an ambassador. That's the closest translation I'm gonna manage. Yeah, it does sound like an ambassador, doesn't it? 可是不久，秦国的大臣们对秦始皇说，凡是来到秦国做事的人，大多数都是来进行破坏活动的。一定要赶走他们。Okay, so the next sentence translates as, well, it starts from here, from the 可是. So this is just a but. But pretty soon, the other high-ranking officials of the Qin nation told the emperor, anyone who comes here to do stuff. Would you translate 做事? Anyone who comes here, I guess with business, most of them are here to do sabotage. 破坏活动, I think would be sabotage. So we have to get rid of them. We have to chase them out. But, exactly, Bruna. Yeah, xenophobia 2,000 years ago. Some things never change. Doing stuff in my government. Oh, Jalen, you have a great point. Maybe diplomat is a better word here. I guess it depends on like what the 客卿 usually does, but it seems kind of nebulous, probably like on purpose, like open-ended. 看事 can't 事 also mean business? Yeah. Pretty much. I think that's why I ended up going with do business. Okay. Anyways, basically there was a bunch of xenophobia about this guy because he came from 楚国 and he wasn't like a true native, whatever you want to call that. Anyone who comes around here for shenanigans. Exactly, Karma. I don't think you're that far off either. You know what? We should translate 做事 here as shenanigans. I like that a lot. Oh my god, why is my handwriting like that? Okay. Can you guys see okay? Okay. 因为李斯也不是秦国人，当然也在被驱逐之类。Okay, so this, I'm going to translate these real quick and I'll translate the whole sentence. So, what would 驱逐 mean? Wait, by the way, look at my, did you guys see my lock screen? Come appreciate a Sabo Luffy with me. This artwork, deadass, like I saw it on my TL and I cried a little bit and then I set it as my lock screen. Plico, there it is. 驱逐. Why is my chair creaking so much? 驱逐之类. Drive out or expel and banish. Okay, we're just gonna go with banished. Get thee to a nunnery. Cute? What's cute? 当然也在被驱逐之类. Okay, so the translation is 因为李斯也不是秦国人, so because 李斯 was not a 秦国 native, so naturally, 当然 naturally, he is also part of the banished category. SPD Green, welcome! 于是他赶忙给秦始皇写了一封信，劝他不要这样做. So he immediately wrote a letter to the emperor, basically trying to convince him not to do this. 李斯在信中说，不问可否，不论曲直. Wait, do I have any link click fans in chat? What's the, hold on, I gotta look it up. What's the phrase that was it like 不问过去? Wow, how does Lu Guang say it? Didn't that have the same kind of like, it's 不问过去不论将来. It's the same cadence. It's the 不问不论. That's the same structure. It's literally that thing that, I don't know how it translates to English because I watch in Chinese dub. But it's the thing Lu Guang always says where he's like, 不问过去不论将来. Or is it 不论过去不问将来? Which one is it? Oh, they translate it as past or future, just let them be. But the 不论不问 structure is, oh, it's 无论. It's 无论过去不问将来. I'm just gonna write that at the top. Link, click. Oh god, my handwriting is gonna fuck me up. How do you write 论? 不论过去, 无论过去不问将来. I think is more. I think that's the correct. Okay. Learning Chinese with Link Click! Yeah, Link Click study session 1. You're so right. Chinese dub with English subs. Yeah. not questioning your past deeds. I didn't know that was a classic thing to say in Chinese. It's like an actual saying. I believe that. I've never heard anyone say it, but I believe that. All right. So anyways, it's a very similar phrasing, but not exactly. For a moment, I thought I could tickle the link-click neurons, and I guess they did get tickled. Sure, the link-click neurons get activated. They're like sleeper agents in my brain. 李斯在信中说：“不问可否，不论曲直，非秦者去，为客者逐，是不对的。” Okay. How the fuck? Okay, 不问可否 would be like not asking if you can or can't. And then 不论曲直 would be like no matter if it's curvy or straight. Sorry, I like can't use the word. Anyways, 非秦者去，为客者逐。How does this next line translate? Because it's like 非秦 would be not of the Qin nation, right? But then 者去 as in like 秦非秦者去，为客者逐。Is probably how it breaks down in my head. And 逐 is to drive out, right? To banish. Is part of the earlier word that we learned, which was 在哪里？去哪里啦？ Oh, 驱逐 is literally right here. So this is the same character as this one. Non-Qing civilians will go. Yeah, but I don't understand how this falls into the sentence. So like if you are like non-Qing people go, and then like people who are our guests are being driven out. Is that what the 为客者逐 is? Chase the customers. What? Straight. Who's she? Okay. Well, okay. I don't think the structure is quite clean in my head, but the general gist of it is like not asking right or wrong, without caring about if they're like on the straight path. God, how do you translate? It's basically, yeah, it's just the same thing again. It's just right or wrong. He said it like two different ways. And then the non-Qin people, civilians, go. Our guests, we expel our guests, I guess, is what the next phrase is saying, and that's not right. So he's like, we shouldn't just kick people out willy-nilly just because they are not our people of this nation. Of course, I guess he wouldn't be implying our people because he's not. Well, I don't know, maybe he would. Anyways, that feels like an inaccurate translation. We shouldn't be kicking out people regardless of whether they are like good or bad, I guess. Rue's like, I might be so smart. I remember the character Bu. Wait, there's pinging. You're doing great, fam. Okay. Anyways, he's like, this is fucked up. And you can't just kick people out without like based purely on the fact that they are not people from this nation. And not considering anything else. So his next sentence says, 我听說地廣才能粟多，國大才能人眾。Let me bit by bit translate this one. I have the general gist of it, but I don't know how to. 地廣 would be like broad, like literally like large lands, right? Or broad lands. And then 粟多, 粟多, how would you? 哎呀，这个粟字都找不到，这里粟多。It's million. I thought it was like crops, but I guess I wasn't super far off. So he's saying, I've heard that only with broad lands, like large land, can we have plentiful millet, I guess. And only with a large nation can we have a large population. 兵强才能适用. So only with a strong military can we have... Oh shit, how do you translate 适用? Like, how can we have brave soldiers? 适用. Yeah. 打错了. No. 是一个字一个字打吧. 适用. 这个适用. Oh! Okay, maybe I should consider the like outdated use of it. Basically, like a long 成语. It's the way they include a 谚语 in a 成语. Is it 谚? 谚语是什么我都不知道. Oh, it's a proverb. It's a proverb. Okay. 谚语 is a proverb. I'm gonna write that down on the side. 谚语 proverb. So the whole saying is a proverb? Or like it's 4 proverbs together. Brave soldier. Okay, so I was right. I was right with the 适用. Brave soldier. Okay, so the full translation then of I guess the proverb is only with a lot of land can we grow a lot of millet. Only with a large nation can we have a large population. Only with a strong military can we have brave soldiers. Counter word 2, name 0 military. You're so right. The names haven't gotten me this whole story so far. That does usually get me a lot earlier than before we get this deep into the story. Okay. Only with large land can we have plentiful millet. Sounds like an idiom about gaining an ass at the gym. Oh my god. Twitch chat, y'all are missing out. Y'all are missing out on the YouTube side right now. I wish I could show both chats. It would have been so much better if I could combine them. But these fucking TOS, I swear to God. I think everyone benefits from a combined chat, but no. Twitch doesn't let me show YouTube chat in the multi-stream. Fuck you, Twitch, for real. Okay. Oh no, I smell more proverbs on the horizon. You guys ready? Yeah, Karma's in both chats. That's true. Karma showed up, what was it, 2 streams ago? Dropped a member in YouTube, got a sub in Twitch, and then also gifted a sub, I think? Gifted 5 subs on Twitch, and I was just like, whoa. Bro's out here carpet bombing. Thank you, I appreciate it. I was just like, is that the same Karma? Now we know for sure. This close to opening my YouTube on a different device. Why don't you use AI to translate it? I just like the dictionaries better. I think I recognize the value of like AI translators, but I like the Pleco dictionary. I think it's a cool tool. And then whenever it's not covered, I go look it up instead, and then I'll ask Baidu Baike to educate me instead. Okay. 泰山不舍气息微气细。哦，泰山不舍气细微的泥土。What is that 气 doing here? I assume is 细微 like one phrase? What does the 气 mean? What does it mean? It's so bright, so vivid. Double rainbow, double rainbow, double rainbow, double rainbow. 气。Oh, it's 舍弃. I'm guessing it's 舍弃. Ah, there it is. We figured it out. 语感慢慢来喽。Okay, 舍弃 is to give up or abandon. 泰山不舍弃细微的泥土。哦，懂了。哦，懂了。OK， 知道了。来，学点上海话好吧。收到啦。That's how you would say 知道了 Shanghainese. Okay, yeah. 细微 yeah, it's what I suspected. It's like skinny. I guess I'll go with fine. Fine or subtle? Fine, slight, subtle. But I feel like okay. What does that mean in this context though? It's a little different from what I thought. I thought what it was saying was like Taishan doesn't throw away its like weaker dirt. It's a horrible translation. But actually it seems to be more that it's saying Taishan doesn't throw away its like how should I say? It doesn't distinguish between the like the subtle differences in its dirt particles. Maybe it's the better way to put it. Yeah, 泰山 is a mountain. 才能那样的大. Yeah, so basically 泰山 isn't throwing away its any kind of its dirt, even if they're like based on their subtle differences. And that's why it's so large. 泰山 is a mountain. That's actually a good thing to clarify. I forgot to point that out to people. 河海不拒绝细流才能那样的深. So 河海 wait, is that a specific 海 or is it just saying rivers and oceans? I think it's like rivers and oceans don't reject like small tributaries, and that's how they're so deep. 帝王不排斥广大的人才. How would you translate 排斥? Like filter out? 排斥 reject or repel. Okay, and then 人才 I also don't know how to translate. 人才 talent. That's a good, yeah. I like that. Okay, so then the next sentence translates as, after the oceans and rivers one, it's shit, I feel like 帝王 should have a specific translation also. Hold on. I mean, I guess it would just be emperor. They're not saying like a specific emperor, it's just any emperor. Emperor generic. Okay, so only if the emperor doesn't reject huge swaths of talent can they be successful, basically. 才能获得成功. Yeah. Why is their feet levitating? It's because the name of this idiom is to bind your feet and not advance. Rivers take what they can get. That's how they're able to give so much. Is that an actual saying, Karma? I've never heard this. Let me look it up. I guess not. Or is that your attempt to translate it? I feel like the give so much is a liberty you could take with the translation if you wanted to angle the proverb in a certain direction. But I think the more literal translation is still more accurate here in terms of like the depth of oceans and rivers is only achievable because it's like because the tiny tributaries are also there. It's like, it's very literal. It's like because the ocean doesn't like reject its small creeks, right? Small creeks and tributaries. That's the only way they are as deep as they are. It's a very, very, very literal. Like there's not too much to struggle to understand here. Okay. 今天把宾客都赶跑了，天下有才能的人不敢朝秦国看。 Ooh, this is a relevant story for our very Trumpian times. I don't know why it took me that long for that to sink in. Like, this sentence is when I finally was like, wait, this is relevant. This story is relevant. So if today we get rid of our 宾客, I mean, I don't know, guests. Let me make sure if there's a cleaner translation, I should use it. Yeah, guests and visitors. Okay, so if today we chase away all of our guests and visitors, then everyone around the world would not dare to turn towards our nation. 裹住双脚，不敢进入秦国. And so they would bind their feet and they wouldn't dare to enter the nation. 必定会损害自己而有利于仇敌. What does that mean? 有利于仇敌? Anyways, they're afraid to enter the nation, our nation, the Qingguo nation that we're telling the story from, because it would guarantee that they would damage themselves and 有利于仇敌. What is the 利 doing there? Okay, let me translate the 仇敌 first. Is it like you would be giving benefits to your enemy? Let's see. Yeah, you're like giving favors, giving benefits to your enemy. Okay, so like why would we enter this nation that kicked us all out? Because you would damage yourself and then also give boons to your enemy. 到头来弄得国内空虚而且软弱，国外仇人多而且强盛，秦国的危机就要到来了. Okay, so like eventually 到头来 eventually it makes it so that the interior of the nation is like empty and weak. And then outside of the nation, we have a bunch of enemies and they're really strong. They're strong and there are plenty. And so our nation would be in danger. Rejected allies are future enemies, precisely. Yep. Okay, 秦始皇认为李斯的话很有道理，废止了逐客令，恢复了李斯的官职。后来又任命他为秦国的丞相. Did we already translate 丞相 last time? Let me look that up and then I'll do the whole sentence. 丞相. Hey. 这个丞字哦，找到了，就这个丞相啊 Prime Minister. Oh, Prime Minister. Congrats on the promotion, bro. Okay, cool. So this final sentence reads, 秦始皇认为李斯 秦始皇认为李斯的话很有道理，废止了逐客令 I see 恢复了李斯的官职，后来又任命他为秦国的丞相. So the emperor thought that his words had a lot of logic and so he canceled the banishment order and returned Li Si's title, his government title. And then later on gave him the title of prime minister as well. Cool. Book is surprisingly based. Okay, here's our reflection box. 任何时候都不应裹足不前. Oh, see, this is the bit I was missing without the story. I was like, does it mean, like, would you translate this as having cold feet? Like, does it have that connotation of like chickening out, you know? But I guess we'll see. Okay, the example sentence is, 在困难面前，我们不应 疑虑重重. Are they giving me another fucking idiom in the middle of a sample sentence for? 嘿呀 OK 我们不应疑虑重重裹足不前疑虑重重一个我这真的疑虑重重哎有了找到了搜到了来看看就 OK 疑虑重重 means to be laden with misgivings. Laden with misgivings. Okay. So this sample sentence translates as, in the face of difficulty, we should not be filled with misgivings and holding ourselves back, basically. Yeah, explains your idiom using another idiom. Fuck you. For a second, I thought a chatter said they became prime minister. That'd be crazy. Wondering what the historical context for this idiom is. Was it after feet binding died out? Okay, so actually, that was part of the reason I didn't want to translate this as binding your feet and not advancing, because feet binding in a Chinese historical context is such a specific thing. It is not referring to that practice of like snapping someone's foot in half and then forcing it to, you know, be teeny tiny for the rest of their lives. It's not about that. It's just literally like I think a better translation would be like shackling your feet. Because it's not about feet binding. And so it's not about that. As far as whether or not it would be like before or after, I think that's anyone's guess, to be honest. Like, you can have this story associated with this phrase, but the actual historical origins of the phrase, like when people actually started saying it, we can only guess, right, as to when that was. So this story doesn't show the idiom happening. No, a lot of these stories are like, I think it's because a lot of these sayings like come from historical texts or like famous people having said something in a particular context. And so it's not the story about the idiom. It's like the idiom comes from the story, if that makes sense. But I think that's a pretty common thing. That's been happening for quite a few of the other idioms as well. Okay. This one's about horses. I think we should use this one for the next clickbait. Uma Musume looking kind of different. I will make that joke again next stream. We'll save it. Cool. Any questions about this one before I move on to the next one? I feel like I want to find more 例句 for this one, like more sample uses. 等一下哦，裹足不进不前，裹足不前。百度百科，帮帮我，成语故事这里有，哎，看看是不是同样的啊？李斯是秦始皇时代的宰相啊，嘿，还真的是同样的故事。说明它真的是从这个故事而来的一个成语。Okay, so on the like, I guess this is Chinese Wikipedia. On Chinese Wikipedia, it's it's just Baidu. On Baidu, it's saying like it's telling the exact same story, basically. Okay, 成文用法，裹足不前在句子中可充当谓语。So it's a predicate, a modifier, an adverb. Yeah, so it has a lot of different functions, I guess. 思想保守. So it roughly takes place in sentences to represent like conservative thinking is one way to think about it. Conservative not in the like political sense, but in the original sense. Okay. 运用事例看一下哦。all of these sample sentences are like antiquated. Oh, I didn't realize that this phrase has like a Luddite kind of what's the word I was trying to say and then lost? Connotation. Oh my god. 百度 shows the idiom comes from a work from this Lisa guy. Yeah, exactly. This one's kind of disappointing for the lack of actual feed content. Yeah, I get it. Do you think the other one will have actual horse content? I guess we'll find out. It's like that one saying, loose lips sink ships, where one of the US officials was talking too much and kind of literally got a ship sank. Oh, I didn't know about this, Jalen. I love potatoes. Thank you for having my back. Okay, so this sentence here, I think this is a pretty good example of like the vibes of this idiom, because I thought this would be like getting cold feet. It's actually very different in connotation. So it's more along the lines of like not being open-minded, right? Like not willing to advance into modernity. So this sentence reads, 科学的春天已经不可阻挡地走来了。那么他还有什么理由怨天尤人裹足不前呢？ So this is from like a writer's, I think, essay, but it's a sentence and it literally translates to like the springtime of science is already impossible, like is already advancing towards us and impossible to stop. So then why would a nebulous he, like why would they still like curse the heavens and refuse to advance, is the literal translation of that sentence. So it has a very strong connotation of Ludditism. That being said, Luddites, the word being used the way they are, it's still a misrepresentation of the actual history. So we should read about Luddites on stream sometime. I think they're very cool. Okay. This final example is from 三国龙海. Oh, 三战. I'm crazy. 三战龙海. What? I don't know what that is. Is that a book? 他们自上而下正在茫然无措。他们自上而下正在茫然无措，裹足不前的当儿，我军主力悄然撤到了黄河故道北岸休整去了。I keep looking for a better English translation. Like you should embrace science instead of fearing. Yeah, exactly. Well said. Oh, Curbs and Karma. Thank you for the stretch and hydrate redeems. Luddites are based. I 100% agree. I think it was such a cool political moment, and it's like so sad that they are being painted negatively the way they are now. I wish there was a better 裹足不前造句吧，造 My Shanghainese ass does not know. I do not know. Okay. 搜一下哦，这里有一个，哎呀，不过是台湾的网站，所以它都是繁体字，波泼莫佛，我读不懂。It's 造句. Oh my god, it was 造 this whole time. My southern ass thought it was 照. I thought it was 造句. No! Okay. 翻译。哎，我想要造句。提议。哦，想不到抵达现场。I think it does have a cold feet connotation also. Because this sentence example from someone says, 原本是他提议要来一探鬼屋的究竟的，想不到抵达现场时，他反而裹足不前了。So that's literally like, he was the guy with the idea to come check out this haunted house, But then it turns out that like when we showed up, he got cold feet and didn't want to go in. So that's a very got cold feet. Yeah, Hatamisu, I feel you so much. I agree.但是呢，第二个句子哦 ，the second sentence is 想要有所成就，你得改变这种裹足不前的态度，赶快掌握机会，向前冲吧。So this sentence is if you want to achieve things in your life, you have to change these 裹足不前attitudes and start moving ahead, start rushing ahead. So I guess it's the combination of like getting cold feet and also fear of advancement. Getting cold feet out of fear of advancement. I don't know. There's no elegant way to getting cold feet, fear of advancement. Is there any English idiom or proverb or saying that encapsulates this vibe? I don't know. Fear and anxiety. He's just like me, for real. 再看一个啊 This one says 你别怪我裹足不前，前面的旅途实在太危险了。So this one's like don't blame me for 裹足不前. The road ahead is literally just too dangerous. So I think in many connotations it really is just the getting cold feet. So maybe that is the best translation. I like that it also has the foot imagery, I guess. Self-sabotage, holding yourself back, your own worst enemy. I think I will add holding yourself back here. And then I'll add like light connotation on like conservative thinking and fear of change. Maybe, roughly. Yeah, I don't think we have an exact translation, but I think getting cold feet will cover like many of the use cases for this idiom. Bradbug, thank you for the prime resub. How long has it been? 3 months. Thank you for 3 months. I appreciate it. Hope you are enjoying yourself. We can think of it as overthinking. Yeah. Maybe overthinking, underthinking? I don't know. I think getting cold feet is a good base translation, and then you just have to like add some of these connotations to it. Yeah. Cool. I think that's pretty solid. Let's save this one. I'm dead serious. I want to put horses in the thumbnail. Can you blame me? Where are my damn like sticky notes? Where did they all go? Ah, found one. Yeah, my game controller got stuck. Okay. Oof. Let's save the horses. Musume. Looking kinda different. Alright. Maybe it's literally just be like water and we're overthinking it. I don't think this one's be like water, but I appreciate the sentiment, Karma. Anxiety, keep on trying me. I feel like quietly try to silence me. Wait, what is that from again? That rings a bell. Okay. 哄堂大笑. Let me choose the next one. 后起之秀. We have a stretch redeem and a hydrate redeem, and I need a bathroom break, so I will do that once we choose 囫囵吞枣. Oh, I like this one because I've never heard of it, and it's not intelligible unless you like read the explainer. 把整个枣子吞下去，比喻读书不求甚解，时而不化。哦，是不是有点猪八戒吃人参果的意思？有可能啊。 Okay, cool. I like this one. It's literally translates to like, well, I don't know what the hulun is, but it's the general connotation of the idiom is like when you swallow the date whole and you don't really digest it. So I'm curious how that actually translates. And in the meantime, allow me to take my bathroom break, and we will also do a stretch and hydrate. So I'm gonna run an ad so we can all enjoy no pre-rolls for a while. I should really make a shortcut for this so I don't have to type it every time, but I will be right back. Okay. Sapporo was like standing right outside the door and then jump scared me coming in. I didn't realize. I wanted a chocolate break. These are my favorite milk chocolates from Trader Joe's. Thank you, Trader Joe's. Boss is gone. Time for chaos. Well, you haven't heard the 猪八戒 saying. The saying I was referencing earlier, I'll say it slower. It's 猪八戒吃人参果. And it's like referencing a specific incident in I guess the Journey to the West, where 猪八戒, the pig guy, I don't know how you translate pig monk. The pig guy tells they find a tree that grows this very precious fruit that grants you immortality, and it's supposed to like, I don't know. It's just a fancy fruit, you know? Like, it's a fancy fruit. You eat it, you become immortal. It's pretty crazy. And so people obviously are always looking. It's like a fabled tree. And so they find it. And 猪八戒, he's like the sort of the archetype of a glutton. He's literally represented as a pig. He takes the fruit from the tree and then swallows it whole. And then afterwards, he's like, wait, I don't even know what that tasted like. I don't know what this like fabled fruit tastes like. And so it's a proverb that generally, I mean, it is usually used for like to describe eating. When you like eat too fast, you don't even taste the food. But it also has a more wide connotation of like when you do something so fast, you don't even get the chance to like savor it. That kind of a vibe about it. Are all pigs get a bad rap? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Why so much hate towards pigs? I don't know. To go through life without having lived it. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Okay, here's my hydrate. Thank you. Oh, tea and chocolate always a hit. That feels good. I was so locked in, guys. Praise me. I was so focused. ADHD who? I barely got distracted that whole story. Go me. Let's go. I should I am rewarding myself. I was gonna say, I should reward myself with like a little treat. And here I am literally eating chocolate. That is a good little treat. Very good. I'm used to like very obediently going, woo, ying. Yeah, like cute. All right. Shall we continue? Oh, I hear Sapporo in her litter box. I have to get her like a litter mat of some sort. She keeps pissing out of the box. It's horrific. The weird part is her piss. You know how cat piss is like famously stinky? It doesn't smell like anything to me. Like, I don't notice it. ADHD defeated! Liz, all good. Sleep well. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one. Oh my god, it's like midnight for Liz, yeah. Alright, let's do another sip of the tea and then let's go. That tea also has just like a little bit of acidity to it. Just a little. Not very much. Like compared to like pour over coffees is nothing. But the little touch of acidity is so good for counteracting the sort of aggressive creamy residue of a chocolate. That's so ideal. Fucking love it. I also love pour over coffee and chocolate. That also hits. Although I tend to prefer like darker chocolates for that. ADHD's never defeated. Comes back like doomsday. That's true. It's never completely defeated. However, I like to take pride in my small victories over ADHD. Another stretch, Victor Ryan? Okay. Well, we can grab Sapporo because she came to bother me. Oh, she probably won't let me. She's very traumatized right now because we took her to the vet yesterday. Sapporo! Hold on. Oh, I spilled a little bit. Sapporo! Can I pick you up? Oh, let me prep the camera just in case. You know what happens. Oh, no, she's running away from me. Meow! What? What? She knows. I think she figured me out. I think she got me. She immediately started running away, and then once I sat down, she started walking out again. What do you want? Use your words. I don't know what you want. Sapporo. I don't know what you're asking for. I stand up and you start walking away. What do you want? She's so afraid. I stood up and started running again. We traumatized her so bad yesterday. It's because she usually likes to be in my room, and my room has the least places, like the fewest places she can go hide. And so we've like finessed the system for getting her into the carrier to get to the vet. We bait her out with like food or treats or something, because usually like she's like deep in my closet a lot of the time. So we bait her out of the closet. Sounds like a fucking joke. We bait her out of the closet, and then we close my door. We close my closet door, and we close my bathroom door, and then it's just my room. And then scoop her, or try to scoop her until we get her. We scoop her, and then like one of us has to hold the carrier sort of at a tilting angle so that we can use gravity to force her into it. Yeah, she's a very closeted cat, Allison. Sapporo's a very closeted cat. She loves the closet. This human has ulterior motives. She has me figured out. 100%. I do have ulterior motives. She's 100% correct. Sapporo's out of the closet. Good for her. Good for her. 总有人想谋害症. That's correct. That's correct. That's definitely how her inner voice sounds like, I think. Talks like an emperor. She needed to go to the vet. She's taking it out on me. Yeah, well, I mean, it was just her annual checkup. Like, there was nothing wrong with her. We actually thought it would be like really fast in and out. And then they were like, oh, so she's estimated to be like 9 years old today. Like estimated, we don't really know. She could be anywhere between 9 and like, I don't know, 12 or something. Like, I have no idea. And because she's getting up there in age, they were like, we recommend that we do some like geriatric screenings for her, which would require like a blood and urine sample. And we were like, geriatric? And they were like, yeah, she's probably 9. That's like a pretty old cat. I was just like kind of shook. But yeah, we were like, how do you get a urine sample from a cat? Like, you can't command them to piss into a cup. And they were like, oh, so we stab a needle into her bladder and we take the piss. I don't know why that was so funny to me. I was just like, oh, you take the piss. You take what you need. You can take my piss from my cold dead paws. Exactly. Yeah, we forced her to come out of the closet and then we stole her piss too. No wonder she has major trust issues. Dare I ask why there's a foot in the title? Oh, it's because the last idiom we did was about like shackling your feet and refusing to advance. So, of course we have to put a foot emoji in the title. No wonder she's traumatized. That's what I'm saying. I think it's very understandable that she has some trust issues right now. Piss thieves. I ninja. I know, I'd be traumatized by that too. It's like waking up and finding that your kidney's gone. You know, like it's the same as you saving that piss for a rainy day. Stop. I think she just wants to be let out. I think it's that simple. Okay, Sapporo, you're gonna run away again, but I can let you out. Why are you so afraid? I got you, damn. Shit. I get it though. I can't blame her. It's valid. Saving that rain for a pissy day. Homophobic piss thieves. Okay. Anyway, speaking from experience, what about getting my kidney stolen? Can you imagine? Oh my god. Okay. We have to do at least one more idiom today. 否则对不起你们啊。是吧？ You know, for the longest time, I didn't know that the Shanghainese ism of saying like something something va, right? Like 是吧 is like that is a Shanghainese ism. I didn't know that that's like something Shanghainese people do and like other Chinese speakers don't. The other one was like something fa. So they'll be like 走fa, right? To express like as they walk. Or like 港fa would be like as they talk. And I just didn't know. I didn't know that was a Shanghainese-ism until I tried to write it into an essay. And my Beijing Chinese instructor was like, what the fuck is 走fa? I'm like, they're walking. What do you mean? What is 走fa? They're like 走fa, you know? And she's like, no. There is no 走fa. I felt so offended. To this day, I think about it. Yeah, because like repeating phrases are really common in Chinese, across all the dialects, I think. But the specific words that we use in the repeating phrases is not. This is just not Mandarin. I thought it was Mandarin. It's not Mandarin. It's Chinese this whole time. This keeps happening to me. And I think it's a very common experience in like amongst Chinese dialect speakers. When you grow up in a certain family speaking a certain dialect and you just like take certain things for granted as Chinese. They're all Chinese. That's not incorrect. They're all Chinese. But some of your Chinese is not standard Chinese. It's not Mandarin. I even hesitate to use the word standard. Standardized, I would accept. Yeah. I was like learning Mandarin wrong. Like there were things that I thought was Mandarin, they were not Mandarin. Oops. Anyway, common experience. There's a lot of moments like that, I think. Okay, so 囫囵吞枣. Someone was saying earlier in chat before I went on my bathroom break that it's like primarily used for eating stories. 不经咀嚼. What does 咀嚼 mean? Like to chew? Does 咀嚼 just mean to chew? Let me look it up. 咀嚼. Oh, that's 拒绝. Hold on. 拒绝. To masticate. Or to ruminate. Don't you think it's interesting how many commonalities like this exist across languages? Like the fact that to chew on something means both to literally chew as well as to like think and process, and that applies across English and Chinese. Like that is really cool to me. I really like finding similarities like that. Yeah, it's because you're processing the food, you're tasting it. There's like the ruminating quality of chewing persists across languages. That's really cool. I like that. Linguistics, precisely. Request Ying sobbing and laughing emotes. Sam, yes, I cannot add more emotes on YouTube without enough members. I don't have enough members. I'm capped out on emotes, YouTube said right now. I guess we'll have to do some kind of like members incentive on YouTube because we are still primarily a Twitch chat. That is still true. I can think about it. Let me think of some YouTube member perks. In this economy, who's gonna want to give membership? I say as I look over and Karma's giving one. How about now? That's actually a really good question. Let me see. YouTube member tiers. I'll check the requirements. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but the last time I tried to add emotes, it was maxed out. And we actually have fewer members than we did back then because I used to stream to YouTube. I used to stream Honkai Impact 3rd to YouTube, and those streams actually did pretty well because it's Honkai Impact 3rd. Let me figure it out. I'll figure it out. If I can add more, I will. You guys wanted laughing and sobbing, right? Let me make a note. But those are the ones to prioritize. I need to remake my emotes anyway for V2, but I'll put what I have in. Where are my ADHD post-it notes? There they are. Okay. YT members laugh, cry, emotes. Look how chicken scratchy my rushed handwriting looks like. Versus like if I try to write that neatly, what would it look like? Let's see. Well, it's still not that neat, but it's very different. All right. Ghost Boy, thanks for the follow, Twitch side. Does 7TV not work on YouTube? I actually don't know. I have no idea. I will say that like Better TTV and 7TV and stuff, they don't work on like my side, OBS side, because OBS has like a special window for chat. And it doesn't apply the Chrome extensions. So yeah, but thank you very much, Karma. I appreciate it. Congrats to Misty Wolf for the gift membership. Oh my God. It's so hard to clarify my Twitch and YouTube terminology. Okay. I have the doctor handwriting. Oh no. Taeyong, really? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everyone who has to read your handwriting. I have a friend who's a pharmacist, or was training to be a pharmacist for a very long time. She finally graduated, I think 2 years ago. We're cosplay friends. That's how we met. It's very exciting. But she's finally like she's got like the doctoral and everything. She has a PharmD. And I was so curious. I was like, is it true that most of the time when you get prescription notes that they're utterly unreadable? And she was like, so it is true, generally speaking, that it's the worst handwriting I've probably ever seen in my entire life. But nowadays all prescriptions are digital. And so this like meme of doctor prescription handwritings being utterly illegible is like, this meme will die soon. And I was like, that makes me kind of sad. Like, I didn't anticipate that doctor handwriting meme would be a blip in the temporal timeline. A blip in the timeline. That's maybe what I would say. I didn't expect it would be so temporary. Thank you for the 69 cents. I know, the culture, the flavor. Being illegible is my culture. I'm sure there's a doctor handwriting font out there. All right, let me take one more sip and stretch for Victor Ryan's redeem. You guys want to stretch together for this one? Let's do what feels stiff today? Shoulders. We'll do the cross your left arm, the one you all did in gym class probably. Cross your left arm in front of your chest and your right arm locks over it. Pull to your right while you turn your head to the left. So shoulders rotate right and head rotates left. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. Check out the shoulders. Cross your right arm in front of your chest. Left arm locks it in. And turn your head to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Woo. All right. Shoulders back. And shoulders forward. Oh my God, my neck just cracked like 3 times while I did that. Floppy disk equals save, even though we don't use floppy disks anymore. I know. Have you ever, like, there was one time, I forget who I was with. No, maybe I saw this online. I don't really remember. I have like source amnesia about it, but maybe it was a clip. I think I saw a clip online of like, there was someone who, like a younger person saw a floppy disk and they were like, oh my God, it's the save icon. And then like all the older people were like, it is the save icon, but is that the only thing you recognize it as? And they were like, well, yeah, it's the save icon. And they were like, do you know what it is? They're like, yeah, it's the save icon. Like, what are you asking me? I was sitting there like, oh my God, I think I might be amongst the last years who used floppy disks. In my second grade computer class, we were still using floppy disks. And then I think by third grade, we were using USB flash drives. So it's pretty crazy to think about. 90s kids things. I feel like the 90s, well, every decade has its own version of this, but the 90s one is definitely the like transition from just the rapid modernization of like physical technologies and networking technologies is just, oh my God. Like I think about the before and after times as it pertains to Google in particular and like email. And like we still know what dial-up tones are. I still know how to use a fax machine, which is crazy. Used to make us reach behind our backs. Oh, let's do that one. I like that one. Touch your hands together. My family was using them still, then I'm an 01 kid. Yeah, I think over the millennia change, that's how I define zillennials personally, is like late 90s into early 2000s. That's what my brother is also. He's in 99. He's like end of 99. Oof. Pretty soon all the save icons will be No! I don't want that! Although recently all of the like influx of AI stuff on everything has been pissing me off so much. I'm like, can you at least give me the option to disable them? And then they're like, no. Google's like, we heard you like AI, so we're gonna put Gemini on your Gemini so you can have some more Gemini. Fuck you on your Gemini, bitch! Stick that up your ass! I don't want your fucking Gemini! Anyway, it's fucking annoying. And as a longtime loyal Google Photos user, I fear it may be time to abandon it for an NAS. But the NAS rabbit hole is also not fun, so that's the other issue. 大哥大. A brick size. Why does that sound so familiar? What is a 大哥大? 大哥大. 什么东西? Oh! Oh! 懂了. Oh, that's what these were called? 大哥大. Oh my God, the brick phones. Were they colloquially referred to in Chinese as 大哥大? Like the big ones with the antenna that sticks out the top and that has like a little, it like juts out a little at the mouthpiece. You know what I'm talking? Fellow millennials will know what I'm talking about. It's an old phone. Yeah. Downloading will take 36 days. Exactly, Jalen. Exactly. Not Nokia bricks. Older than that. Still better than Windows AI stuff. That's true, Cyreal. That's very true. Is it side reel? Or am I pronouncing that wrong? Welcome to chat. Do you guys remember how the Nokia bricks would dance? Anyway, I'm so off topic. We did our search redeem. We reached for our hands behind our backs. We talked about how motherfucking pissed I am at Gemini invading everything. Not just Gemini, no okay, sorry. I'm gonna... Shh. Everything's gonna be okay. Oh, okay. The invasion of conversational UI AI agent tooling into all of my tools makes me so angry, but I don't have to let that take over the rest of stream. A valid crash out, thank you. I know the Notion AI features are like so embarrassing. I keep trying to give it a chance. Like I keep thinking, oh my God, we have the perfect opportunity to use the last phrase we learned. You guys ready for this? Okay. I keep thinking I shouldn't 裹足不前 and I should give the new technology a chance. And so I punch in my little queries to the latest search box that has annoyingly shown up in agentic form on my previously pristine Word documents and Notion files. only to have them be utterly disappointing, therefore justifying my Ludditism. I think I used it well in a very bilingual manner. This is what the meditation retreat is for, is Ying's escape from AIs. Hilarious. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But let's talk a little bit more about the meditation retreat at the end of stream. I will tell you more. I will tell you more. At risk of super doxing my location, I'll tell you guys more. It's fine. I guess if you guys want to come visit me on my meditation retreat, as long as you don't try to murder me, we can chat. It did not happen yet, Breadbook. It's next week. I will be literally, I've been calling it my white girl retreat, but I'm right, okay? It is a white girl retreat, and this is white girl behavior. But I think white girls have it kind of figured out when it comes to stuff like this, and I think we could stand to learn from the white girl example. I think we can all benefit from eat, pray, love, and live, laugh, love, just like a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, don't take it as the gospel, but I think it's okay to have a little bit of live, laugh, love in your life. I think it's very beneficial, actually. It's the 40-year-old white guy retreat. I'm actually so curious whether, like, I guess the kinds of clientele I'm going to, like my fellow retreaters, what kind of people they're going to be like. It is a sold out class, so I guess we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we did it. What the fuck was I? Okay, yes, cool. Back to the dates. I'm a very focused streamer who doesn't get distracted or breaks into crash outs live on stream about the inevitable takeover of really enshittified AI products. I am calm. I am self-possessed. I am dignified in demeanor. This is a cozy stream where we study Chinese proverbs and idioms and practice Taoist methodology. I would never make it as a comedian because I can't make it through this kind of shit with a straight fucking face. We're gonna go. 囫囵吞枣. Okay. I'm just gonna read it. We're just gonna read it. Okay. 一位医生对病人说，生梨对人的牙齿很有好处，但对皮却有害处。What is 皮？ Like fatigue? 而枣对皮有好处，但对牙齿却有坏处。The TV recital voice. You know, I'm an award-winning orator. Excuse me. In the same way that I could do the hello everyone and welcome to my NPR voice. Anyway, so I'm just gonna translate it line by line. Where's my pencil? ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? There it is. Okay, so a doctor told a patient that pears are good for your teeth, but bad for your energy. I think I'm gonna... Pancreas? Oh, is it not energy? Okay, I was about to look it up. What's that anime? The, like, eat your pancreas anime? What's that called again? Was it good? Did any of you guys watch it? Spleen! Spleen, it says. It says spleen here. Ruptured from rage! Rage of the machine! Spleen. What does your spleen even do? It's good but sad. I want to eat your pancreas. You did not like it. Oh, what kind of did not like? Oh, you liked it because it's sad. Okay. That's like me watching 86 right now. Yeah. I've Googled what it's about like a dozen times. I keep forgetting what that anime is about. I thought it was good for what it was. Lucy, I like that take a lot. I think a lot of anime needs to be qualified with that kind of a phrase of like, I thought it was good for what it was, right? Like, I always say people are not ready for my very unpopular Apothecary Diary opinions, for example, but what I say usually about that show is like, it's pretty good for what it is. And the thing that I guess I disagree with in terms of like the more popular opinion of that show is that like I think a lot of people view it as just being genuinely good, like devoid of any other standards, just like that it sets a standard based on how good it is, and I just don't agree with that. Anyways, I want to eat your pancreas. You guys, would you recommend it? I guess it sounds like it's good if you like sad stories, is what I'm getting from what you guys are saying. Pretty good for being mid as hell. You know what? Sometimes the anime will assert pretty early that it's junk food. Is this a show that asserts that it's junk food, or does it try to punch above its weight class and then fail miserably? Because I think that's where things start to feel really mid. That's my issue with Apothecary Diaries. They're like really pretentious. Anyway, I'm not going to get on that soapbox either. It's a very dangerous one for me. I'm going to get canceled on the internet for hating Apothecary Diaries. I don't hate it though. I think it's good. Just like for what it is. I'm going to shut up now. Oh, it's a movie. Oh, so you don't even have to like mega commit to like a long running anything. You can just watch the movie. That seems worth it. Okay. So it's the split. Wait, oh, I was going to Google what the ADHD I will increment the ADHD counter for that one. I will admit that I got distracted on the way to the search bar. Spleen. What does your spleen do? Your spleen is a small organ that sits inside your left rib cage. Should I do the NPR voice? Your spleen is a small organ that sits inside your... That's more my audiobook voice. That sits inside your left rib cage, just above your stomach. In adults, the spleen is about the size of an avocado. Free shavakadu! The spleen is part of your lymphatic system, which is part of your immune system. It does several important jobs to keep your body healthy. Many different conditions, diseases, disorders, and injuries affect how your spleen works. Providers usually treat the condition or illness that's causing problems with the spleen. If necessary, healthcare providers can remove your spleen during a procedure called a splenectomy. Splenectomy. What does it do? It's just lymphatic stuff, basically. Your spleen stores blood, filters blood by removing cellular waste and getting rid of old or damaged blood cells, makes white blood cells and antibodies that help you fight infection, maintains the levels of fluid in your body, produces antibodies that protect you against infection. Where are you in audiobooks sold? I do want to do more readings, but I don't know. I don't think there's anything that's like copyright friendly that I can read, unless it's stuff that's like really like out of copyright, like old stuff. I thought about doing like an Anderson, like releasing my own Anderson's Fairy Tales audiobook. I think that'd be fun, just as like a for fun project. I could still do it. Yeah. What does it do? Somebody explain. EOS sense counter getting incremented. Military position 1. Medical vocab 1. Okay, so basically it's like lymphatic system, immune system, blood. Yes. Okay, great. So this doctor was telling their patient, pears are good for your teeth, but bad for your spleen. And dates are good for your spleen, but bad for your teeth. So that's the first sentence. I don't know why I'm so burpy today. I'll drink a little more. Ancient out of copyright horror stories. You're so right. Oh my god, we couldn't even read those on stream. Maybe that can be an October event. Sammy's, your brain is massive. Thank you. We could make that could be our members only content. Oh my god. We're so smart. What would I do without you guys? Thank you. Let me creepypastas even. Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. I'll start a thread on the Discord for your favorite creepypastas, so you guys can nominate your favorites, and then I'll do readings of them through October, or maybe even before October, so that I can release them in October. Anyway, okay. Probably gonna have to change medical vocab to general specialized vocab. That makes sense. Yeah. Oh, Allison, thanks for hanging out. Have a good one. Okay. We did it, guys. We made it through the first sentence. I'm a star student. 一个自以为聪明的人听后，连忙对旁人说：“我倒有个好法子，不但可以吸收生梨和枣子各自对与人的好处，而且又可以避免害处。” Okay, so he's saying, the next sentence says, there's a, this is really funny phrasing though. 自以为聪明 is a really funny way to put it. So they're like, there's this guy who like thinks he's really smart. And after he heard this, he rushed to tell the people around him, I have a good idea. Not only can we absorb the benefits of the pear and the date, it can also avoid the bad parts. 那就是在我吃枣子的时候，我就不用牙齿咬，而是一口吞下肚子，这样就可以让枣子对皮有益，而免得它伤害牙。伤害牙。So first half of the sentence is, so his idea basically is, he says, the idea is, when I eat dates, I don't chew them with my teeth, I just swallow it whole. And that way, I can get the benefit for my spleen, but avoid damaging my teeth. And then the next sentence says, 等到吃生梨的时候，只用牙齿咀嚼，却不咽到肚里去，这不是可以使生梨对牙齿有益，而免得伤皮了吗？ So he says, and then when it's time to eat the pear, I will only use my teeth to chew it, and then not swallow it into my stomach. Isn't that a way to get the benefits of the pear for the teeth and avoid the damage to the spleen? And then it reads, 旁人听了笑着说，你吃生梨只嚼不咽，倒还可以做到，可吃枣子只咽不嚼就很难了。你那样囫囵吞枣，枣核咽下去，肚子可受不了了。This was a genuinely 3-minute 成语故事, guys. I actually made it through very quickly. The people he was talking to, they heard it, and laughing, they said, eating pears where you just chew it and don't swallow, that seems doable. But eating dates and only swallowing without chewing, that would be really hard because if you 囫囵吞枣, which is the saying, the idiom that this chapter is about, the pit of the date, once you swallow the pit of the date, your stomach is not going to take that well. This guy has a huge brain. Einstein over here was like, what if I make eating more complicated? Oh, bye, Lucy Jen. Thanks for hanging out. Simple modern story with simple words. Jump scare. Transliteration for Portugal is grape teeth. Ah, yes. Is it actually 葡萄牙? Really? I didn't know that. At least he didn't go with the suppository. What does that even mean? In before all Vaporeon submissions. Oh, I didn't even know there was a Vaporeon creepypasta. I'm very uncultured when it comes to creepypasta, so I think I'm gonna have fun reading these. Yeah, I guess. Man, I've been really against paywalling content. That's just not the kind of creator I want to be. But I also need to eat. I'll think about it. We can do... Yeah. Oh, am I just hungry? Is that what the tummy noises are? Okay. So that was actually a nice short modern story with very little historic bullshit. The reflection box says, 但愿你不会囫囵吞枣地读这本书。They're fucking metagaming. So it literally translates to, we hope you aren't reading this book in a like 囫囵吞枣 way. Like, we hope you aren't reading this book without thinking about it, is what they're saying. Which 成语 is this? This is 囫囵吞枣. Welcome, unicorns. Good to have you. Oh my god. They're like, we're watching you. That's hilarious. It can be a timed paywall. That's true. We can gate it to like for the duration of October, and then afterwards we'll release it or something like that. Yeah, that's true. That's a good way to do it. I don't like paywalls. Okay. So the sample sentence is 读书要仔细，要善于思考。切不可囫囵吞枣，一瞥而过。All all right. I mean, as much as I enjoyed the story, I feel like none of it actually mattered very much for like the vibe connotations of this idiom. It seems like it really is just about like swallowing without chewing, like to ingest without processing. Jackbox. Gaming stream where anyone could watch, members could join. Oh. We could try those. Yeah, maybe monthly game nights or something. Okay. 啊呜，这怎么读？啊呜卵，冒充金光钻。诶，这怎么 ？This really rings a bell. What is this from? 哦，还有下一句呢。How does a Shanghainese person not know this saying? 哦，是上海话，上海方言。那上海话怎么说呢？啊乌卵。It would be 冒充金光子。How do you? I think I'd have to hear it in Shanghainese. What? What is this? 来乐灌浪头，什么东西？上海方言，意思是你不行的话，不行的货。却硬要冒充很行，这是在吹牛。Maybe that's why it sounds so familiar to me, is that I've heard it in Shanghainese, but it makes no sense to me when I read it in Mandarin Chinese like this. Like, what is this saying? I get it now, but I'm gonna need to hear it in Shanghainese. Do you think I could find it like on YouTube, like someone saying it? 看一下哦，这是什么？哎 ，It's YouTube。
阿三呢，把老娘就捉进去了，事体老要个。阿三好好叫了三层隔看房贷，那么上头国家拉地，也没事先通知医生。黄带卡录了相机，里头像鱼骨头卡了喉咙里向。
Oh no！
录像机呢是问知识分子屋里借来的，讲定夜到要回个。阿三好。
Oh, sorry, I'm get like absorbed in the story, but
想老坏个。阿三问清爽研究，眼眼叫碰着眼眼叫，门一推进去，搿老娘舅啊，把门板一样的土包钻出去，伊猫牢搿一清两个啦，别打，还再度跳啊！后首来听提升阿三，我寻牢伊看法是寻死嘛？黑乌高，侬勿好看看谈感情个带子，勿是老对侬面子个吗？
哎呀，我这个等会儿自己去听啊。I think it's too long. I think it's too long for me to just listen right now. It's literally like a 37-minute long video. This is a great Shanghainese resource, though. I didn't know it existed. I have to subscribe to this channel. Huh. This is cool. Okay, sorry. What were we doing? Live call to your parents. My parents are at Mount Rushmore. I don't think they have signal right now. Could we use the 囫囵吞枣 to describe doom scrolling? That's a really good question. 我们搜一下 Let's look up some 囫囵吞枣 like 造句。哎，我学会了。Are you guys proud of me? I said 造句 correctly. 囫囵吞枣造句 Please. 好，例句。谢谢。哎呀，又是台湾的那个，咋办呢？可以换成那个 simplified 简体。 典故说明用法说明哦，例句找到了 OK 许多基本概念的学习是不能囫囵吞枣的 Okay, that's sample one, which is a lot of basic concepts that you learn should not be 囫囵吞枣 And then the next one reads 有些道理必须深入思索绝不能囫囵吞枣 That's the same sentence as before Basically 读书不可 That's the same shit 我们的读书时不可 You guys are making like 10 of the same sentences 有些老师is it 不重讲解只让学生囫囵吞枣的一直读 Oh, that makes a little bit more sense. So it's like some teachers don't, I think it's 不重讲解 Some teachers don't value like analysis and explanation, and so they only make their students 囫囵吞枣 and like read a bunch of things that they don't process. I think, you know what? I don't know about doom scrolling, but I think you could probably use 囫囵吞枣 in an application regarding social media in terms of like media literacy, like the lack of media literacy that we see all the time now. I feel like rote memorization would be probably not a bad application of this idiom. But I feel like rote memorization is often more frequently used to say that is like 填鸭式, right? Like the stuffed duck method. Yeah. Reading without actually reading, precisely. Okay, I like this sentence. I think it encapsulates it pretty well. So example number 6 reads 认认真真的看一本书胜过囫囵吞枣的看10本书 So it's better to to really pay attention to one book than to like speedily and without processing read through 10 books. That seems like a pretty good, like to rush through without digesting seems to be the general. Do we have an equivalent English idiom? I don't know. You read a paragraph, the words don't go in, you have to read it again on a large scale. Oh, for doom scrolling? I guess. I feel like when I'm doom scrolling, I take psychic damage from like every single item I've scrolled past though. You know, like I did digest it. ADHD gang absolutely cannot do rote memorization. I am actually pretty good at rote memorization. So I think that's how I was able to be one of those like good grades, late diagnosis ADHD people. I'm not great at it, but I was really able to brute force it. Like it took extra effort, I think, but I really made it work. I was a very good test taker. Miss the forest for the trees. I think that one has some additional like context type meaning that is not encapsulated in this idiom. Foie gras brain. Jaylon, you've never heard the stuffed duck technique? Yeah. I like foie gras brain. I think we should start saying that. Like the foie gras learning method. We used to say that a lot in China because it used to be more, I mean, it's still very common, but the like Chinese education system used to be particularly like stuffed duck method. It was very rote memorization heavy and then just like memorize as much as you possibly can without really learning anything. Just stuff the duck and like figure it out later. It's kind of the vibe. Those who know all but are lacking in themselves are utterly lacking. I've never heard the saying either, Karma, but that resonates. Did you do the... No, I did not call. Thank God. I wasn't even born in China. I was born in California. But I went back to Shanghai for a few years in my childhood, which is why my pronunciation is clean, but my literacy is so low. The book talkers who read 100 books in like a week. Yeah. Did you guys see the Twitter thread recently that was going around a little bit, I think last month, about how audiobooks, like people kind of look down on audiobooks because they're not really reading, but then this Twitter thread, like OP was basically making the argument that like the spoken format is how human stories have been passed down generation to generation for as long as human history goes back. Like oral history is how human history functioned until very, 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 very recently in our history as a species. And in defense of audiobooks, taking in stories through our ears and like sharing them through our mouths has been a very standard way actually of how we process narratives. And so they also cited some studies, which was really interesting, about like memory and retention from audiobook format versus reading format. And for the longest time, as like someone who, I read physical books a lot, but I also listen to a lot of audiobooks. I think it's like a roughly, like I would say for every 3 audiobooks I listen to, I like read 1 book physically. I felt kind of guilty about it for a really long time. But then after I read that thread, I was like, no, like I see the point actually, because for example, I recently listened to the audiobook for The Handmaid's Tale, which I thought was cheating. But anyone here who has like read and finished The Handmaid's Tale knows that by the end of it, you realize suddenly that like the book format is supposed to be like a transcription of audio tapes. It's like the sort of lost and then found media format that it approaches its post-apocalyptic storyline with. So I realized at the end, after I finished the audiobook, I was like, oh, reading this book in audiobook format is actually maybe a more true to the intent way of ingesting the story than I realized. So that was very fun. And then similarly, I read Bram Stoker's Dracula finally, but in audiobook form. And it similarly had like a lot of it is journal entries, but a lot of it is also like audio journal entries. So that was also very interesting. And I thought they had like 2 different actors playing all of the characters in Dracula. And the actor performances were what made that book like really enjoyable, even though it's so dense and long-winded. So I'm impatient because I read much faster than I listen, but otherwise I would listen to more audiobooks. I agree with that. And that's the reason I like physically read some books versus I audiobook other things. But the audiobook function for me is less about like reading quickly and more about multitasking. So it has other efficiencies, right? Like when I fold my laundry or I go on a walk or do the dishes, these are places where I can listen to an audiobook, but I could not possibly be reading a physical book with my eyeballs because my eyeballs are otherwise engaged. So it's, for me, it was an efficiency thing, but now I realize maybe I don't have to feel bad about it. But anyway, all of that is to say that I think what I realized recently, because I was reading through audiobook format, I was reading The Dispossessed by Ursula Le Guin. And there are parts of that book that are very emotionally stressful and difficult to work through. And I realized while I was ingesting it in audiobook form that I could not just skim through the way I probably would have subconsciously done if I were looking at the physical book in front of me. Like I probably would have read those chapters more quickly and with less rumination than the rest of the book because those segments were like so painful to process. Versus in audiobook form, I didn't have that option. I had to just sit there and just listen. And it was painful, but also like that's what that segment was supposed to feel like. Like, I guess pertaining to the story that we just read, right? Like, in using this idiom, it's basically just that in audiobook form, I don't have the option of like hu lun tun sao ying through the less savory parts of a book, shall we say. Yeah, like I could certainly speed up the reading speed, but I would have to do that consciously versus like the more subconscious act of skimming through a passage in a book, which you can do without even noticing. You wouldn't even catch yourself doing that a lot of the time, I think. Have you read Wizard of Earthsea, Left Hand of Darkness? Not yet. Left Hand of Darkness is queued up next, and then I'm going to read Wizard of Earthsea after that. I know Earthsea is like probably her most famous work, so I kind of wanted to work up to it a little bit. I've read 247 using TTS. Used to be a book a day, but then 2,000 chapter web novels. Oh my god. Yeah, I do feel like it's sometimes faster than reading text, or at least the same speed as reading text for audiobooks. Yeah. I can relate to that. I listened to It by Stephen King while washing dishes at my first job and it had me stressed. Yeah, I realized I can't do like horror type books in audiobook form. I listened to, was it The Lovely Bones, or I think the same writer wrote like another horror novel. It was like a thriller. It was a thriller novel. And I was so stressed out. Like I could not. It was about what's the word for like pornography that does like actual violence to people? Like snuff, I think is the word. That's like that was the theme of the thriller. That's what made it thrilling. And I was just really like really freaked out and icked out, and I like couldn't just read faster through the gross bits. I had to sit there and like listen. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. This is horrible. It was so bad. So after that book, I was like, I'm not doing horror or thrillers in audiobook form ever again. Thank you very much. It's too much. It's just too much. Mooney, hello, welcome. Okay, you know what? That was actually a very on-topic sidebar for this idiom, because it's all about like reading without processing or swallowing without chewing, right? So, great. We still haven't found an adequate English like equivalent idiom for this one. I don't have one. I guess I'll just write like literally to swallow without chewing. But implied like ingestion without processing or rumination. Okay. Unthoroughly processing. The Dracula reading by OSP is pretty good. Less gory horror can be good audiobooks. Yeah, I don't even really qualify Dracula as like a horror or a thriller. It's just kind of, it feels like literary history now to me. It was so dense. I don't think I could have made it like just visually through that book. I don't think there was a way that was happening. Okay, if we want, we can, hold on. 画龙点睛 is like a very famous one. This is one of those like everybody knows type ones. But I don't know if the story will be simple to read or not. I think because the second story was easier than expected, we can read one more. 可以读这个。画蛇添足也是。这两个都是。These two are very ubiquitous. Yeah, there's general like parroting when you're repeating someone's words without processing, but that's not a full idiom alone. Yeah, I agree. And it also doesn't, it encapsulates only one possible use case, I guess, versus the full context. Feet! Baldy wants more feet, guys. I don't know where I'm going to find more feet idioms for you. That's the only one I found. Oh, you mean this one though? I guess technically this is a foot idiom too. We could do the feet one just to be on theme for the stream. Yeah, why not? Rumination means both thinking and chewing. I know, right? I agree, Anna. I agree. I was just commenting on that earlier too, that I really like that rumination being something that means both thinking and chewing spans across both English and Chinese and probably a few other languages also. That like in general, the human experience is that like chewing is akin to thinking and processing. Like that's pretty cool. All right, let's do it. 画蛇添足，比喻多此一举，不但无益，反而坏事. So that translates as it means that it's like it's really extraneous and unnecessary. Not only is it meaningless, it actually sabotages things. So extraneous to the point of being damaging is kind of the connotation there. Okay, shall we read? 战国时期，楚国的一个贵族在祭祀完祖先以后 What does 完祖先以后 mean? What is 完祖先? Whatever. 赐用的一壶酒赏给了他的下人. Okay, so back in the Warring States period, in the Chu nation, 楚国, there was a nobleman who... I don't know what this is. 在祭祀. I'm just going to start searching characters up. I don't think when I eat. Yeah, honestly, I think that's what makes it relatable. I think that's what makes idioms like this hit, right? Is that we've all experienced eating our food kind of mindlessly and then going like, oh shit, like I didn't even realize I ate all that. Like, damn. And that it easily that the metaphor extends so easily into the feeling of like taking in something without really processing it. Yeah. What was I looking up? 祭祀. Oh, offer sacrifices to gods or ancestors. Okay, so in Chinese, this would just be ancestor worship, I think. Offerings. 在祭祀完祖先以后，把祭祀用的一壶 okay. So, I got it now. So to translate the sentence, it's during the Warring States period, in the 楚国, in the Chu nation, there was a nobleman who was he was making offerings to his ancestors, and after he was done, there was shall we say a carafe of wine that he had used for the offering, and he gifted it to his employees, his underlings. 几个人看了以后都认为酒太少，其中有人提议说，不如我们来比赛画蛇，谁先画好谁 Is it really technically 谁 I say 谁先画好酒就归谁，怎么样？Okay, so the second sentence translates as some of these, like his underlings kind of looked at it and they were like, damn, that's not a lot of wine. And so one of the people was like, he offered a suggestion. 提议 would be offer a suggestion. And he said, why don't we have a competition to draw snakes, and whoever draws it the best, then whoever draws it the best will get the wine. What do you think? 要不你一口他一口，每人只能喝一口，还不如让一个人喝个痛快。So the next sentence in his suggestion is, that seems better than having like you take a sip, he takes a sip, and then everyone can only have one sip. It's not, that seems worse than just letting one person like thoroughly enjoy the wine. 商定后，于是他们几个就开始在地上画起蛇来。And so they were like, okay, sounds good. And so they all started drawing snakes on the ground. It's a verb, to pay tribute. That's a good note. Let me make a note of that. Verb. So it's more like to make offerings to your ancestors. A sip's not good enough. What a middle class thing to say. Karma. Somebody just brings a real snake. Look how realistic, guys. This is like me going like, yeah, I'm a VTuber. This is my high fidelity ray traced 3D model. I kind of miss the VTuber days sometimes, guys. Okay. Well, it's coming back. VTuber's in the works. I'm really excited, actually. 其中呢，有一个人很快就画好了，于是便拿起酒壶准备喝酒。当他正准备喝的时候，看见其他的人还在手忙脚乱的画着，就洋洋得意地说：“我还能在天上脚呢。” Okay, so amongst these people, 其中 amongst these people, there was one person who very quickly finished drawing, and so he picks up the wine carafe and prepares to drink it. But right as he's preparing to drink, he saw that all of the other people were still like 手忙脚乱 would be like frantically. They were still frantically drawing. And so 洋洋得意 would be just like full, and so pridefully, like full of pride, so absolutely like with swelling with pride. He said, I could even add feet. Ancient wisdom. Never get into a snake drawing contest with someone who suggests snake drawing contest. That's true. Okay. 于是便又给蛇画起了脚. So he basically, yeah, he goes and he draws feet on his snake. 当他正在画的时候，旁边的那个人也画好了，顺势 一把夺过酒壶说，蛇是没有脚的，你怎么给它画上脚呢？ So the next sentence is, right as he's drawing, I guess feet, right as he's drawing feet, the guy next to him also finished drawing, and in one motion grabbed the wine carafe and said, snakes don't have feet. How come you're giving it, why are you drawing feet on that thing? And then once he was done talking, he in one gulp, 一饮而尽 would be in one gulp, finished the wine in one gulp. 而那个给蛇添脚的人却没有喝到酒。Yep. So the guy who was adding feet to the snake didn't get any wine at all. Bro draws feet for free? Yeah, I mean... 四脚蛇. Wait, is monitor lizard 四脚蛇? I didn't know that. That's really cool. The snake's a dragon. Yeah, hold on, that's the other idiom. That's 画龙点睛 is the other one. That's for the dragon. Okay. The reflection box just reads, 这个人实在不高明. I feel like the reflection boxes are getting goofier. This one literally just goes like, yeah, so this guy's like really not that smart. Oh man, that's silly. I like it. So the sample sentence just reads, 这篇文章的内容和结构都很完整。Oh, I see. 如果加上一段反倒是画蛇添足了。Oh, this is actually a good sample sentence. So, I just feel like it's roasting even though it makes sense as the meaning of the idiom. Yeah. The sample sentence is, this essay's content and I guess composition are very complete. If you add another segment, it actually would be 画蛇添足. It would be adding feet to a snake. So I think this is a really good sample sentence because I think people often ruin their very good writing by adding unnecessary, extraneous words and sentences. I'm very much a subscriber of the F. Scott Fitzgerald school of writing, where you only write the absolute bare fucking minimum. Not a single word or sentence wasted. No. We don't got time for that. I think brevity is beauty sometimes. Okay, cool. That's the story. Gilding the lily. Simius, you're so right. You're so right. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure real quick, because I've never actually looked up gilding the lily. To add unnecessary ornamentation to something beautiful in its own right. Yeah, I think that's not quite a one-for-one translation, but it comes very close. Because gilding the lily would imply additional decoration on something that is already beautiful. But 画蛇添足 is a little bit more of like a... more specifically just the extraneous acts and less of the beauty connotation, which I think is still it's not 画蛇添足 isn't necessarily, it doesn't have the it was already perfect, why did you add something to it kind of meaning. You can use it in that context, but it more broadly applies to any kind of extraneous act, whether the base was perfect or not. So I always assumed gilding killed the lily. I wonder if there is... Oh, here we go. There's an r/ask Reddit. Where did the expression gilding the lily come from? And then someone has a link. Let's see. Oh! Gilding the bard? Oh, apparently... So people credit Shakespeare with the phrase gilding the lily, but the actual quote is painting the lily or gilding pure gold. The quote is from King John, probably written in the 1590s. And the passage reads, to gild refined gold, to paint the lily, to throw a perfume on the violet, to smooth the ice, or to add another hue, unto the rainbow, or with taper light, to seek the beauteous eye of heaven to garnish, is wasteful and ridiculous excess. That quotation, though, strikes us as a perfect example of gilding the lily. The Oxford English Dictionary has this definition: to paint or to gild the lily, to embellish excessively, to add ornamentation where none is needed. The original Shakespearean phrase was paint the lily. The misquotation, gild the lily, is the far and away more popular version. 4.6 million search hits for gild the lily, only 108,000 for paint the lily. So the misquotation is now an English idiom. Cool. Nice. Okay, that's it. I scrolled through the rest of the blog post and it was mostly about like other misquotations from Shakespearean texts that have now become idioms or sayings. So for example, lead on Macduff was actually supposed to be lay on Macduff, and the saying discretion is the better part of valor is a misquotation of the better part of valor is discretion. And alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well is actually alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, Horatio. Cool. Pimp my lily. That sounds incredibly suggestive, cheese. Great. I think we really made good progress today. We got through 3 stories, and I think the latter 2 were more devoid of like crazy historical phrasings, and that's why I had an easier, faster time of it. Oh, this is the wrong layout. Sorry. Cool. That was good. Let's do a refresh, right? I always forget to do let's go through everything we went through. So the first one was oh my god, I lost it. Where's my feet idiom? Oh, yo. Okay. It's not this. It's not this one. It's not this one. Ah! 裹足不前 was our first idiom today, and it's the best translation we could come up with together was it's like getting cold feet and being afraid to advance or afraid to move forward. But it has an additional connotation in some contexts, like a light connotation on like conservative thinking or fear of change. And then that was our first one. It took us the longest, like a whole hour. And then the next 2 went really fast. The second one was 囫囵吞枣, which is literally translates to like just mindlessly swallowing, or like without chewing to swallow the date. And it literally means to swallow without chewing. And the implication is that it's like ingesting without processing or without rumination. We didn't get stuck in any names today. We didn't. Some kind of miracle. Okay, number 3 was 画蛇添足, which literally means to draw a snake and add feet, or to add feet to the drawing of a snake. We got really close with the English equivalent this time. Thank you, Samius, for thinking of it. And the English equivalent would be to gild the lily. The one thing I would note here is that gilding the lily has a connotation of like adding additional beauty to something that is perfect, which is a kind of specific application versus the more general application of 画蛇添足, which is more about like doing unnecessary things and not necessarily so much the connotation of like perfection or beauty. So cool. That's great. Let's go. Well done. So efficient. Not that efficient, but you know, we still got it done. We got through it and we had fun doing it. That's what matters. Have we found a new foot idiom for the next clickbait? Oh, good question. So our clickbait for the next stream is this one. Oh shit, so overexposed. Oh, there we go. Now you can kind of see it from that angle. It's 汗马功劳. So literally it literally translates to like the work of a sweaty horse. What kind of clickbait thumbnail? I guess it'll be like the really thirsty looking sweaty emoji, like the one with a horse next to it. Sweaty horse girls. Oh, Hatamisu doesn't know this one. Yeah, I have never heard of 汗马功劳 either. Uma Musume clickbait! Yay! Thank you guys for masterminding. Oh my god. I almost said masturbating, which would have sounded like a very different word. Thank you guys for masterminding. Oh. This is the risk of being a very fast speaker, is sometimes words come out and I don't realize until after I've said them that I've said something just very, very, very wrong. Let me try that again. Thank you guys for master minding my next clickbait with me. Sheep man, welcome. The work of a sweaty horse. Yes, so welcome to our Chinese idiom learning stream, where at the end of the stream I ask chat to come up with a clickbaity title for the next one. And so we choose a clickbaity idiom, and this one literally translates to sweaty horse, the work of a sweaty horse. Yeah, words doing the Dragon Ball fusion dance in my brain. Brainstorming. I like masterminding better though. There's like an ingmo connotation. How do you say that in English? There's a plotting and scheming connotation that I enjoy. Sweaty horses at work. All right, perfect. Samus is saying hi to the Twitch clippers. All right, I'm gonna eat a piece of chocolate. We're gonna take one last sip of tea. Delicious. This was a fun stream. Thank you all for hanging out. We had a huge raid too. I gotta go thank Bat for that. I've never met Bat before, so I gotta check out their stuff. But it was an honor. If any of Bat's chat is still around, thanks for hanging out. Hope you had fun. We're gonna find someone to pay the raid forward to. YouTube side, I will drop you guys a link as always so we can raid in together if you want. I recently raided BB already. Irie's playing Genshin, or I would raid. I kind of make it a policy to not raid Hoyoverse streamers anymore. I'm sorry. I'm a little vindictive. That's just how it is around here. I'm sorry for being a bitch. I love my friends, but if they're streaming any Hoyoverse game I'm not raiding, you can't make me. Okay, we did raid BB recently, but I don't see why not. We should just raid her again. So BB actually has her cat cam on, and well, you could see both of her cats, but one of her cats just wandered off. We're gonna go say hi to BB. BB's a cosplayer friend of mine. She is I think a pretty rare category, in the sense that I think in the VTuber space, we don't have a lot of black VTubers, and BB's a black VTuber. She's only been streaming about 30 minutes, so I think we will catch her before she starts playing other games. It sounds like she has peak, in the planning, which is fun. Peak streams are always fun. I always enjoy watching them, so. All right. Well, this morning, afternoon, or evening, have a wonderful time of day. Thank you all for learning Chinese idioms with me and choosing the sweaty horse clickbait for next stream. Category, haha. Gotta go reclaim number 1 on Duolingo. All right, good luck to that. So, well, hello. Welcome, little witch. Hello and goodbye. YouTube chat, if you would like to raid with us, here is your link. If you have a Twitch account. If not, I will see you next stream. And next stream will be, we're playing a really short indie game called Birth. It tackles the topics of mortality and loneliness, but it was built as a comfy game. So we will find out probably in the 2 to 4 hours it'll take to stream it. We'll find out what that means. Comfy death. Trust. Can we tell her you said she has cats? Yeah, she has cats. They're right there. They're on the screen. You can compliment her cats, in fact. You can say it yourself. All right, welcome, y'all. See you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.